Hi there, and welcome to chapter 30. So, in the last chapter, Simone and Stefan came back to the guest house or to the weekend house of the Chancellor, and they kind of summarized what happened. Yeah, and they just said that they have been attacked by an unknown person in the cell. The story continues. Stefan überlegt scharf. So, überlegen literally means overlay. So if you have thought over thought over thought over thought, you're basically kind of pondering or reflecting. Yeah, lots of thoughts over another, so you overlay them. And scharf, it's like bishop, sharply. So they're pondering sharply. Scharf can also mean hot if it's chilly, but here is no chilly, it's just brain. So they are pondering. What is he pondering about? Denkst du, thinketh you. We, and sollen means should, sollten means theoretically would, should. So it's actually, this is the should you use 90% of the time. The sollten part with the TE in there. It could be the past. It's impossible to say with English because it's always should in English. So translation doesn't help. So my tip for you, whenever you say should I, you use the TE version, yeah, which is the Konjunktiv 2, which you know from möchten, and you see there's a TE in there too, and usually is an umlaut which gives away it's a conjunctive. Yeah, so let's say it's a politeness form, possibility form. So we should the police einschalten. Ein is in or on, and schalten, somehow it's related to, or it looks like scolding someone. Let's say if someone turns on the TV while you have guests, you should scold them. I'm not sure whether that's the right word. The other way around. Verbrühen, yeah, oh no. So, yeah, there's two. There's the scold with O and this one I mistook them. So, if you turn on the water cooker, you might get scolded, so be careful. So, schalten means to switch. Yeah. And the opposite of einschalten is ausschalten. But in this case, so what does this mean? Shall we switch on the police? That makes no sense. Of course, it is a little bit of a, how to say, colloquial use maybe. So I would say informieren. Yeah? And einschalten, if you switch on the police, that means you kind of include them, you inform them. Yeah? Switch on the police. Interesting picture. Dann können die Fischers Haus durchsuchen und ihn befragen. Then, could they or can they? Yeah. Careful here. The D doesn't belong to Fischer's house. Yeah. Again, remember, no apostrophe. So the Polizisten, basically, that would be the one that makes sense. So it's they because they talk about the police. So then they can Fischer's house through search, which means search. Und ihn befragen. And him ask. You know the Fraggles? Fraggle. They are always curious. They frag a lot of questions. And BE is resulting in a lot of questions. Yeah? So jemanden befragen. You, by the way, you will not use befragen anytime soon. For you, it's always fragen. Yeah? But befragen usually has a result in mind. They want, of course, find out whether Fischer has anything to do with the kidnapping of the pugs. Redet ja nicht mit uns. Reden, Germans get a red head when they talk. Ja, it's just emphasis. You don't need to remember this. You will pick this up as you go. Not with us. So, because he's not talking with us. So maybe we should ask the police to take care of this. Aber Simone schüttelt nur den Kopf. But she, what does she do? Schütteln. Well, it is almost like shudder, and it means to shake. And she's shaking her Kopf. She's only shaking the head. Keep in mind that Germans shake the head, not their head, not my head. Whose head shall I shake? I better not shake your head. And that's very logical. So, ja, den Kopf. Nein, dann müssen wir sagen, dass wir bei ihm eingebrochen sind. Dann müssen wir sagen, no, then must we, and you recognize the say, right? That we at him in broken are. If you read only the English literal translation, you would possibly not make sense of this. But then we must admit, my apologies, then we must say that we broke in at his house. Remember this, bei ihm, that means at his house. Yeah? Bei mir, that means at my house. Bei dir, at your house. Außerdem steht in dem Brief deutlich keine Polizei. So, außerdem, we just talked about, means besides, yeah, out of that. In dem Brief, I always write very brief letters, so it's a letter. And deuten, normally deuten is like at point. We have Sterndeuter, that means people that interpret the stars. Not sure what's the proper English word? Stargazer, that's a nice one. Astrologer. Yeah, because they interpret the stars. Astrologer. And we also have Astrologe. So deutlich, simply if I point at something, it's very clear. So deutlich means clearly. No police. Not a police. Aufgeregt unterbricht Stefan Simone. So we had aufregen up, moving up and down. That means excitedly. And under breaks, which means interrupts, Stefan Simone. So who is interrupting whom? The one doing the thing is usually always next to the verb. Yeah? Aufgeregt is excitedly, cannot do anything. So Stefan is the one interrupting, and Simone is the one being interrupted. Das heißt aber auch, is heißen usually is to call. Someone is called, yeah? Ich heiße Michael, I'm called Michael. But das heißt simply means, that means, not too obvious, yeah? But also, so you don't say aber das heißt auch. We could put the aber in front, but here we don't. We can switch it. That the, and Täter comes from Tat, which means the deed, not that. The deed, so the deeder, someone that did something, and that's the culprit. It's always the culprit. And the culprit, or the executor in this case, someone that does something in the near, yeah, vicinity, be must. So must be near, must be close. So that also means that the kidnapper is near. Woher sollte sonst wissen? Where from? Should, remember the sollte, you have the TE here again. He otherwise, sonst, and the thing they have in common is the O. And wissen comes from wisdom, so it's a kind of knowledge, whether the police involved is. Yeah, the rest is clear. Das ist ein guter Punkt, lobt Simone. This is clear, but lobt. Loben is somehow related to love, yeah, but maybe but it means to praise. So somehow if you praise someone, there is a bit of love there, and Germans love to praise earlobes, yeah, so maybe that's a good way to remember it. Always praise the Germans' earlobes, so praises Simone. Lass uns einmal schauen, wer hier alles so wohnt. Let us one time. So let us, well, this einmal is kind of, I wouldn't translate it as once. Yeah, it's just really emphasis. Let's see or look. The show needs someone who sees it and looks at it. Who here also lives? Yeah. Wohnen. Wohnen, you might remember the Wohnzimmer from before is the living room. This is clear, but you have again es gibt, remember that? There is, or there are. Good that there is Google Maps. It's a little bit of free advertisement for Google Maps. You can use other maps as well, but why not? And again, we have the little word at the end, belongs to packen. So, well, packs out is basically unpack. So, Stefan, pack your laptop out, yeah? Unpack your laptop. And it's an imperative, so there is no do and no packs do. Yeah? We cover this sooner or later. Schnell läuft Stefan hinunter ins Wohnzimmer. Here we have the Wohnzimmer again, and schnell, I looked up, there was not much to see. It was related to courageous, yeah, schnell, and that then turned into something fast. So if you run fast, you must be courageous, somehow that's related, but this is simply fast. Laufen is to leap, which means to run, and he's running downstairs into the living room. And remember the zu, I said it's not always easy to spot. In order to, wherever that turns small, his laptop and holen. Germans love to fetch holes. Here we are. Good. Let's see what you will find on his laptop or with help of his laptop. Hope you enjoyed this, and see you in chapter 31.